Whereabouts are you at the moment? You're in the blurry void somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm in my office in the back. That's why I was a little late. I was trying to fix this light. It's under construction right now, so I'm
Ah,
installing heating and air in the office, so and some new windows.
so gradually, as they build it and as they get closer to completion, it's going to come slowly back into focus. You're going to be
Exactly,
all,
yeah.
yeah, easy. I love it. I love it. Mate, I understand that the band was very young when the first album came out. Oh, you didn't have to. Very cool. Very cool. You can blur it up if you like, man. That is all good. But yes, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, man. How young were you when Apologies Are for the Weak came out?
We were 18 when that came out, so yeah, last year in high school.
So you were proper emo kid, like emo teenagers. Like that was
Yeah, they didn't sell tight pants in school or in
no, I
I mean in
noticed.
normal stores. Yeah, you had to like go find tight pants.
Steal them off your sister and stuff. Yeah, I looked
hmm
up one of your first press shot from '09, and I was like, gee, I'll bet they're skinny jeans. I was surprised at the slackness of those jeans.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we I appreciate that. I'll take that. I'll take that. It felt a lot tighter doing it, but yeah, definitely there was further you could have pushed it, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was we
And people were.
we have a term for it in Australia. I don't know if it's worldwide, but spray on jeans. You know,
Oh
like as
yeah.
it looks like the someone's got black spray paint.
That's what we
Mate,
went for. That's like you would like go to like a thrift store and just slowly wander into the female section.
mate, I so do you think were some of the positives and negatives of doing an album like that when you were so young?
I think the coolest thing was just how innocent it was because we didn't really submit for like press or I guess like press packets and to labels and it wasn't really on our radar to do everything we've done. We were just having fun as friends. So I think that innocence is awesome. Like how we got found was sort of like pre, I guess you would say like pre-viral before that was like a term. We were a MySpace band and it just exploded on MySpace overnight and we don't know what happened. And then that's when labels came to us and we're like, oh, this is cool. We should try this. And so the whole time it was just us. We were actually talking about it when we were re-recording the album was like it was just us showing off, just being like nothing made sense. There was no music theory. We're like the producer was like, why are you doing that? What's and we're like, that just sounds cool. This is fun. And yeah, so I think the innocence, that's what I love that album so much in that time because we were just, it really is just about just hanging out and we're like, let's see what happens. There's no like, there's nothing to mess up at, there's nothing to lose at that point. It's so
Yeah.
fun.
So, what was it like then going back and pulling the songs apart and revisiting it?
It was really cool because I think it helped us like see how far we've grown as artists because, and performers because a lot of that stuff we did on that album was very heavily digitized. We could do it, but we like were fudging it a little bit because it was our first album. We only played on the weekends. We're like trying to do this album. We've never toured. So we're in there every single day, which I've never screamed every day. Like there's all this stuff that's never happened. And we're like, what if the scream was like this? And we're like, we do it and we pitch shift it. And we're like, I'll figure it out. And like we're doing all this stuff. We're like, we'll figure it out. We're doing these guitar parts. And then going back and having to do it. And I'm like, oh, I can do this easily. And it's like,
Uh,
we had to do all this computer generated back then. And so the takes now are really fun to listen to because it's like, oh, that's how we grew into the shoes that we sort of molded for ourselves. We're like, hopefully we could sound like this one day. So,
I like it. Now, mate, what can you tell me? Obviously, Miss May I's lineup was has been pretty consistent, compared to other bands. Yeah, for the longest time, and then all of a sudden, bam, BJ and Justin departed. Look, mate, without getting into was this? Were you guys amicable? Was this not amicable? I try to say these things in the nicest
yeah,
way
yeah, no,
possible
for
because we're not a
sure.
tabloid.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was all, it was just a different, it was a post-pandemic, like lives have changed, kids have came in the picture. We've been doing it for so long. And it was like, yeah, the kid thing was a big, huge, and just families was a big change. But some of us decided to bring the kids on tour and wanted to just keep doing that. And that's what some of us do. And then we're all still really close and send riffs to each other and songs. Like we're all still homies. We see like now it's like we hang out with strollers and zoos and stuff and like see each, you know what I mean? Um, we don't see each other as much as we used to, obviously, but yeah, it was all cool, and now it's actually exciting. I feel 16 again because we did the anniversary. Sort of like to me, it was like a cap on Miss May I now with like the new lineup. It's just so refreshing. It's like, oh, now we have an excuse to do something crazy because it's a new formation. So
I like
yeah,
it.
it's been fun writing.
So yeah, what do you think is you were saying, we could do something crazy. How do you think this is going to potentially change Miss May I sound?
Well, to be super honest, we haven't really had any of these interviews yet, so this will start coming in interviews. But to be really honest, is BJ and Justin were major writers in our band. So it was a huge backbone of the band. And it's refreshing and just different to hear like Elijah's cut from the same cloth, same area of the United States, which it's so funny to say something little like that, but it's such a big deal because we all grew up listening to the same like garage bands, basement bands, like all these like burnt
Mm.
CDs were circulated around these few states in the middle of America, and everyone's like, yes, and he was cut from that same cloth. So like it's he speaks the same language, and it's just refreshing too because it's just different. And yeah, it's just, and I think people have said that too, seeing us play. It's like, oh, it's the same thing but just different. It's just
Mm.
so yeah, it's really refreshing. And yeah, kids are getting older, kids are coming on more tours. Tours are getting more frequent, shows are getting awesome. Yeah, it's a fun time right now in the band.
Nice.
They're coming to
So
Australia at the end, so it'll be
I know,
fun.
right? How good. Al, what are some of your favorite Australian metalcore bands?
Oh, right now, see, I am spoiled because I work with Sharptone. So
Mhm.
I'm over at Sharptone doing all their web development. So I Polaris nerd and an Alpha Wolf nerd for sure. I think I probably would say my number one would be Alpha Wolf. I think what they're doing is just insane. And the Grammy nomination for and Thornhill, Anson Thornhill. Yes,
There we
yes.
go.
We were gonna tour with them. We both actually couldn't do the tour. I'm bummed that never happened. We were supposed to do a European tour together. Um,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
well, Thornhill are busy being the unluckiest band in the world. Like at one point, every time I saw them, it's like they've had their rehearsal place got burgled and all of their stuff got stolen. And
Oh, I didn't
then,
know
then
that.
when they're on a tour, one of their trailers got broke. It's just like, dude, did you walk under a ladder while kicking a black cat? Like, what have you done?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What have you like? How have you seen, as someone who's been there since pretty much the very beginning? How have you seen metalcore evolve since you started?
It's really cool that it's so like just well, I was actually talking with someone about this recently. It's so cool that it's just an easy conversation and easy to turn on XM radio at home and hear like a metal band. Because I remember it was so taboo when we like first started, even getting into the radio festivals, which like now it's like there's heavy stages, which back in the day it was like, oh, do you remember Prada and Miss May are going to play these festivals with like Stained and 3 Days Grace and Papa Roach. Like I hope it goes over well. And then those fans are like, wow, this is, and I remember those like first shows happening a decade ago, and now it's like half the show is heavy, half the show is rock, and it's like it's really cool to see it mainstream. And like I said, I can turn on any channel and hear breakdown and screaming music on radio now at home, and it's like it was never like that. It'd be like super college radio when we first started, like doing interviews of like, yo, this is a be like in a college project radio station
Mm.
that plays heavy music. We'd show up on tour and do an interview there, but now it's like happens all the time. It's just that's been a cool thing, and I would give a lot of tests to like the A Day to Remembers and stuff in our world that really did that for us over here. They really just slowly sprinkled in some heaviness, and the radio's like, this is pretty cool.
Well, speaking of Data Remember, you're going to be playing with them at KNOTFEST. Have
I
you
know it's crazy.
have you had much to do with them throughout your career?
It's actually funny. Our big break was Everest Prada, because they're from the same area. They sort of heard the buzz about us, took us under their wings, told the world about us. But they were doing the Sweetbrag tour when Homesick came out. The Day to Remember was direct support, and on that tour, Sky's Airplane was opening. Sorry, I'm getting to the good stuff. I promise.
Do
Sky's
it.
Airplane's opening. We're a local band. We've never really left the States. Or our state, Prada's helping us out. Sky's Airplane's not allowed to play any Live Nation venues at the moment during that tour. And Prada's like, hey, come play New York City, come play all the big shows. Like, and so we're a local band, like, holy crap. And this is right when like the week that so the
Mm.
freaking place was people throwing stuff off and it's like it was chaos. And yeah, I remember we were just kids in high school. Like that was our high school weekend. We went back to school like the next week. And Prada and Day Remember, we were so broke. Like I said, I was working at Burger King. One person was packaging at like a warehouse. When we were kids, and they got us a hotel next to them, and we all like hung out all night because Prada and then bought us a hotel just to like so we had somewhere to sleep. And they're like, "Yeah, open the show, hang out." So we've known them since like way back. So it's cool to see them now. Just everybody, it's just been awesome to watch everybody sort of grow into their places.